game. I dare say. I don't understand what's been. I just don't know, man. But
I guess a rugby game, national game, or any type of rugby game, majority of the country knows about it. That's a given, I would say, mate. But look at the Rugby League World Cup last year. Really, not many people knew about it. That the country was actually co-hosting alongside with Australia.
True.
Little knew who the teams were. That's just a demographic, I would guess, of most of our people here in the country. And I know most of our country are rugby union fans, and they'll know everything about rugby union. There's that staunch niche group, like JT and I, many others, who will know the league side of things. And that's only a very, very small niche group, and we'll be in touch on a lot of that stuff. So we'll know ourselves what's coming up, who's playing what and that, because that's our passion. With the majority of the country, it's all rugby driven.
True. That's probably very, very true. I guess you got to agree with that, JT?
Yeah, absolutely. It is a small niche group, but we're growing by the by the day. So vive la revolution, mate. There's a couple other theories too. I mean, the Kiwis have been on a downward spiral.
Yes, true.
That's fair enough. But you look at the Australian side too. There's not many superstars through that list. I've gone. I've gone through the packs. Maybe Latrell Mitchell was a star on the rise.
Yeah.
In the forward pack, there's absolutely really no one. There's no Slater, Smith, Gronk, Thurston, all those sort of guys are missing. Greg Inglis. There's 5 absolute superstars of the game that have been taken out in one foul sweep. So, you take them out of the game and replace them with Luke Keary, Daly Cherry Evans. It just doesn't have the same ring to it. So that could be another factor towards the crowd being relatively small last week. So, I'm not going to buy Keith. You're a bit off here. I'm not going to give you the satisfaction, mate. You know how I feel.
Okay, then. Fair enough. But I tell you what, I am looking forward to this game, Tonga and Aussie. And the main reason is because, for me, it's just, a lot of Tongan fans in particular, and a number of Kiwi fans, I think, as well, believe that the last year in the World Cup, the Aussies and the Tongans, that should have been the final. That should have been the final for the World Cup. What do you reckon there, JT?
Look, the fact is it wasn't, and they need to get over themselves and move on. They've been given an opportunity today to perhaps right the wrongs that were perceivably done last year. I don't think it was. They were ripped off in any way, shape or form. Fafita dropped the ball clearly, and it was play on. Not play on, but there was no try. But, they've been given a shot at redemption against the all-conquering Australians, and looking for that Australian list, again, I just think that, there are a chance that they are beating them, so move on.
Should be a good game. I'm gonna be looking forward to it. Now, I tell you what, Thames Valley, Reno, they've got a big game coming up. Is it 2:30 the kickoff?
Yeah, 2:30 this afternoon. Unheralded territory for our Swamp Foxes. Finally making it to the big finals for the Heartland Meads Cup on the line. And hey, they left yesterday to get down there and get prepared for the game. It's going to be a tough one up against the top team who have been pretty well demanding, leading this whole Heartland Championship, and they're a formidable team as well. At home, It's going to be extremely hard to beat. Take a look at some of the positives for the Valley boys. They've got to the finals, so that's the first one. They've done a lot better, obviously, than last year. They ticked a few more boxes, kept with the same team and the mould of the coach as well. So, yeah, things have obviously got better than last year. Everyone talked them up last year, and they were going pretty good last year, but just fell off the radar towards the end there. So this is a big opportunity. Hey, they could be like the Tongans or the Kiwis. They win today. I tell you what, we'll be running around looking like a swamp fox for the rest of the week.
True.
But, it's going to be a big game, and we know we've got our tails between our legs with this game, but anything's possible. Last week was one of the tough ones.
Yes,
up
it
against
was.
Canterbury.
Yeah.
They were leading 17-5 half-time, and just a few changes in the second half, which you have to do these days. You can't keep the same 15 right through. Just as minor little changes, tweaks. You see a couple of our players go through with 2 tries. That's 14 points. You're back in the game. You're in the front. So, yeah, it is tough. It's just one of those things. But, yeah, good luck to the boys. The town's riding. Good to see a lot of support behind them. Good to see the old grey-haired man out there wearing the old red and yellow, supporting the Swampies. I tell you what, merchandise has been selling like nothing. But then again, when you're supporting a winning team, it always goes crazy. Ask the Warriors, that tell you about their merchandise.
Absolutely. But, I'm with you. I think they've certainly got a chance, or a better chance than anyone else at the moment. And I say best of luck to them. I know it's going to be a real tough one, and I know that Thames Valley team, what's been good is they've been kind of like steady since last year, though, haven't they? Is steady improvements, eh?
You're right, mate. Yeah, they've improved week in and week out as well. They've knocked over a couple of formidable teams in this division throughout this year. So, North Otago always had first time ever beating North Otago. They beat Bulla. Last year, they only lost last year to Whanganui here at home with a penalty at the end. That's all it was. And to lose 21-20. So they know they got it within themselves. It's just whether they can limit the mistakes, less penalties, and really play a good structured game. They take the formula of how the Kiwis done against the Kangaroos, let the forwards go the hard yard, get it out to some of their exciting new backs. They'll be with a chance. But, they know their backs up against the wall. Look, we were talking about this type of stuff last week against the Kiwis. We thought they were gone with the Kangaroos. So, two teams, mate, 2:30 today on the field. One's going to come out the victor, one will come out the loser, and we hope it's our little Swamp Foxes.
Yeah, absolutely. Now the Mitre 10 Cup, their final series is underway, and there's going to be some good games there as well, isn't there? Tasman up against Canterbury. That game was on last night. Who won that? Canterbury. Canterbury won that game, which is really interesting because Tasman, I tell you what, they've been pretty much on top, but almost a surprise win there from Canterbury, eh?
It is because they haven't been going there flash, actually, and to secure a final spot. The Tasman Markle team have been good, actually. Feel sorry for them. They were the more informed team.
Yes.
We know what the Canterbury team can be like, but just to narrowly win that, I feel sorry for the Markle. But then again, the dominant team that seems to be showing their way very good is the Auckland team, eh?
Yes.
They're going to be really hard to beat.
I know. Against my Wellington
what's good
team.
About it is, what's good about this competition is some of these young fellows who have played out their skins have joined the All Blacks on their Northern Hemisphere tour. So that's a positive. I'll take a look at it. And I see recently, too, Brad Weber has been called into their squad now. So, nice for him from the Hawke's Bay area and plays with the Chiefs. So, they'll be happy with that.
Yeah. Now, what will be an interesting game later on this afternoon, Waikato up against Northland. Northland kind of been up and down, but Waikato, they've got to be kind of distraught, one would think. There could be a bit of a hangover after losing the log of wood in their previous game, eh?
Oh, yeah, they're pretty well down and out. And, just a few little minor mistakes there, and the Otago team bounced on that. They're celebrating down there to lower South Island, so hey, why not? And the old Mooloos, well, they've got to try and win this game and see how they get on. Well, they should win. They should win against the Taniwha.
They should.
Taniwha had a bit of an up-and-down season.
Yeah.
Not as bad as the Stag team, the old Southland Stags, but no, I think the old Mooloo boys should kick back in action today.
Of course, Otago will be on the high after winning the log of wood and securing that for the summer. They're up against Hawke's Bay.
Yeah, that'll be a good clash, actually. Hawke's Bay, where they've been, they haven't done anything this season. No. Everyone talked them up from last year. They just haven't really played well at all. So Otago will be happy. I think their highlight for the year claiming that log of wood. That's been a long time, so they can lock that away for the season, and they'll win. The boys from down the south.
Yeah, but it is going to be a tough one for my Wellington team up against Auckland. Auckland, bit of a surprise, really. It has been for me anyway. Bit of a surprise, really. They're, up on top of the table.
Oh, go Wellington Lions. Can't stand bloody Auckland, so let's go Wellington. Come on, Wellington, let's do it. Oh, no, Big Ben out there, Ben Landers, steamrolling them over. I'm going Wellington, mate, all the way. Great
to see also Dane Coles is trumping back out there along with Blade Thompson. So, be a really good game. hopefully I'll be able to catch. I'm sure I'll be able to catch that. Anyway, it should be a great game. Now, of course, I think it was over the week. Was it over the week where they selected the All Black team and a number of debutantes. A squad of 51. What are your thoughts about?
What?
Yeah, 51? A squad of 51.
What a joke! Do you and I get a jersey, Keithy? Might as well. 51, come on.
A squad of 51.
Do my best here, that's 3 teams. Pretty much. Yeah. But what do you reckon about that, Reno?
Well, I suppose it had to be done, eh? It had to be done. They got a big tour up north, Japan, and a lot of debutantes. And we were touching on Wednesday Hanson's looking after the World Cup. So it's all about the future going forward and getting these young fellas in amongst the mould of the All Black team. And just reading here, Bodie Retallick saying he's relishing the moment, touring with the squad, and it's going to be running 2 big buses everywhere they go now. So, yeah, it's all about building forward, mate, just going forward and see where they plan out. They got a lot of major injuries. Sam Kane just had surgery on his neck, so they got a few covers there. Matt Todd, a lot of contention around that. Playing now over in Japan, how he can be eligible to play for the All Blacks. But, Steve Hanson's done it, 51, and like JT said, man, that's a lot of. But yeah, just they all won't get game time. It's just getting in that whole mould of the All Blacks.
Yeah, I think, well, unless there are some injuries, I think the 21 extras, one would say, the 21 extras probably aren't going to get any game time at all. What do you reckon there, Rena?
Yeah, he's pretty well said that. It's just that whole experience of being in that mold of the All Black camp. So they'll relish that, and to say that they've been part of that, you might get the odd one or two depending on the injuries. A lot of games to be had. Hey, of course, the other announcement too was the New Zealand Māori team. They've got a few debutants there as well. An exciting time ahead for our Māori team, and I would love to see more Māori rugby being played as well.
Same.
And also our Black Ferns team, our Black Ferns Sevens kickstart in Colorado. So the Seven Circuit is underway, the World Series again. So that's all go. We just had the success of our rugby girls under 18s at the Youth Olympics, winning the gold medals. A couple of under 20 girls, I think it is, are in the Black Ferns team. So, yeah, there is still a lot of rugby. You wouldn't think starting at the start of the year talking rugby, at the end of the bloody year, you're still talking rugby. So, on the international side of things.
I know.
A lot of announcements, and I think you raised it in the first half of the show. It might be the tail actually started this part of the segment, the marketing. And there it is. 51, Māori team, the Black Ferns, all of the upcoming tours. It's the marketing done on the rugby side of things, and I would guess most of the rugby fans in the country know about it as well. So, yeah, that's the difference, If it was the Kiwi League team going on the tour, actually, how many people know that the Kiwi League team are on tour?
Only the enlightened ones, Reno.
Exactly. Only the enlightened ones. Yep, you're spot on there. Yeah,
and that's the difference to what you were talking about earlier in the marketing and whatnot.
Yep.
When you take a look at some of these social media platforms and these news outlets that use the internet world, predominantly for us in New Zealand, it's a lot of rugby.
Yes.
There's nothing on the league about the Northern Hemisphere. That's how they know the rugby, and people like yourself, Keithy, and many others.
You're absolutely right.
Because it's not put on.
You
it's
are
not put
absolutely
on mainstream
right.
news sites.
I think you're absolutely right.
For us, leagues like me and JT, we have to go and search it.
Yes, I think you're absolutely right there, Reno. I mean, I until you mentioned it last weekend, I had no idea that they had gone off. They were going off to the Northern Hemisphere. Until you actually mentioned it last weekend, I had no idea myself. As well as that, the test that they had, was it earlier this year in America? It wasn't until about a week before that I learnt about that particular test. Was that the one in America? That was earlier this year, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. I had no idea up until you mentioned it. I think it was a week before. So,
Well, Keith, you need to read further into the newspaper than the first 2 pages, mate. That's where the real news is. That's where the crux of the matter is. In the middle of the newspaper, where you'll find all the rugby league stuff.
Well, I think what it is that the New Zealand Rugby League aren't doing a good enough job putting it where it is actually seen, where it should be.